I want to just go over this because I think it's important. These are KN95 masks. So hospital employees in the United States are wearing N95 masks. These are KN95 masks. Just means that they are made in China, but that they have a protection level equivalent to N95 masks. And this is what's so important here. You may have someone who comes into your home who's wearing a mask, but they're not wearing the mask properly. And it negates the whole purpose of wearing a mask. So let's go over the proper way of wearing a mask right now. And before I put this on, I want to say a couple things, right? In an emergency room, before we even are allowed to start in our residency training, we get fitted for masks. So just think about that, right? We're not allowed to see patients until we go through a mask fitting. Yet we're asking hundreds of millions of people to just slap on a mask. And they're not trained, fine, no big deal. But at least let's talk about the right way to wear the mask, because if you're not wearing it the right way, you're just exposed like you're not wearing a mask. The mask serves as a barrier. And what that means is there needs to be a seal both around your mouth and your nose. I see front page of the New York Times 2 days ago when Atlanta, Georgia opened up, or Oklahoma it was actually as well. There was a picture of a barber cutting someone's hair, and the mask is below the barber's nose. Totally worthless, okay, for that mask. In fact, COVID-19 is harbored in your nasopharynx. So that person is absolutely they could be infected like they weren't wearing a mask. When you have a mask on, you need to do your best to create a seal around your mouth and nose, okay? So when you inhale, you actually could appreciate the mask indenting, right? You want almost a vacuum-like environment to bring the mask in. And when you exhale, the mask will kind of pop back out. So it will go in and out, right? Like a diaphragm, in and out, in and out. That's the ideal situation, all right? If you see your glasses fogging, you don't have 100% seal. Now, you want to get as close to 100% as possible, all right? So let's do this. I'm going to tell you the one tip you could do. If there was only one thing to get this right 90% of the time, this is it. Every proper mask will have some type of object or some type of bar on the top here. If you see on N95 masks, it will be a metal bar. On this N95 mask, it's like a hard, it's like a twist tie on what you use for bags. So the way you would do this is you put this around and then you pinch the nose. And you want to create a seal. So you could see how the mask comes in and out when I'm breathing. That's a proper seal. I do not feel air coming out through my eyes or down through the mouth. Now, this is not the perfect fitting mask for me. It's a little, I could feel it's not perfect, but I'm comfortable seeing that the mask is going in and out. Now, if I'm out in public wearing this, I'm not going to be yapping like I am right now, right? I'm going to be pretty much not talking and just maybe food shopping or just walking around. So it would look like this. Now you could see the mask going in and out, and I'm totally fine with that. So I feel pretty comfortable with this. So if you, and the other rule, so 90% of correct mask wearing is getting the seal, pinching the nose, okay? It has to be pinched because that's the way the seal's created. Number two, Once the mask is on, do not touch the mask. You will want to touch this mask, okay? And I'm doing this for demo purposes here. Do not touch the mask. The whole point is that this mask becomes a barrier for infection. And by touching it, you do a couple things. Number one, you may destroy the integrity of the mask, right? The oils on your fingers, the moisture on your fingers could end up causing a defect in the mask. Number two, the mask is potentially contaminated. So you don't want to touch your mask. Now, the classic scenario I see is someone going up to the meat aisle in a store or getting some bologna, and they go like this. Yeah, I'll take half a pound of Hebrew National salami. And they're like this. Don't do this, okay? Keep the mask on and don't touch it. All right? Don't touch it. Now, what do you do when you come home? Let's say you go out and you come home and you need to take off your mask. Don't touch your mask. Use your fingers to take off whatever's holding your mask in place. Hold it by the string and then hang it up. Okay? What I would do with this one right now is I would put it, I have a little hook outside. In nice weather, I just hang it out. There's air, there's wind, there's UV light. I'm not talking like the bleach and UV light type stuff here. I'm just talking natural UV light. I just kind of let this air out. Maybe there's moisture from breathing. So if I'm going to reuse this mask, that's what I would do. And then I would bring it inside and put it in a place that's just isolated. Whether or not I use it for the next couple of days, ideally it actually gets after 2-3 days, right? The virons that were on it will end up being eliminated and die naturally. So that's that with the mask.